Hello class, this is Mr. Lucero and we are going to continue with our classes. For this topic I am in unit number 2 and the topic is grammar. And the title for this grammar, the passive voice. Okay, but remember, before starting our classes, please remember to turn on your cameras, okay, ready with your microphones. Remember you can talk through the microphone, or maybe you can write on the chat box. Okay, it's really useful. What else? Remember, all participation is very important, so try to participate in my class. If you don't, well, okay, you can make mistake, there is no problem. The idea is to learn, so a good way for learning is if you participate in class, in the English class. Well, we're going to start this topic. This remember last class the topic was about sporting heroes. No, we talk about different kind of sports, but we're going to focus in one here. We're going to focus here in football. No, for example, if we talk about football, we see let me think Paolo Guerrero, Gianluca Lapadula, Jefferson Farfán, ¿no? Cuevas, etc. Okay, the idea is to talk about not only soccer, but we can talk about many different sports, no, or athletes from Peru. For example, no, we can talk about Sofia Mulanovic. She was the best, no, she was the best in surfing. We can talk about a soccer player, as I told at the beginning. We can talk about volleyball. We can talk about car racing. We can talk about many different sports. Okay? Now let's see. If I say, give me a sentence about Paolo Guerrero. Ah, yeah, okay. Paolo Guerrero is the best soccer player. Perfect. Paolo Guerrero played in the last soccer match. Excellent. Another example. Okay, let's see. Sofia Mulanovic won in surfing. Aha, won because it's in the past. Could be the present or could be the past. It depends. When we use the passive voice, we need to be careful with the passive voice because we always focus on active voice. Okay, active voice. It's like Paulo Guerrero played in the last match, soccer match. Sofia Mulanovic won or was the best in surfing. No, how do you know it's active voice when the person is at the beginning of the sentence? Okay, but in the passive voice it's the opposite, and we will see. Analyze the sentences and answer the questions. Let's see. Number one, John Green wrote The Fault in Our Stars and Paper Towns. Okay. Number two, The Fault in Our Stars and Paper Towns were written by John Green. Look, those sentences are very similar, but at the same time very different. In number one, you can see John Green. So it means that John Green was the writer, no, wrote those books. And in the second one, John Green is at the end. Look, John Green at the end, and in number one, John Green at the beginning. And the information is equal, but there are some changes. Now, for example, in red, we can see wrote. Oh, it means that this sentence is in the past. But here there is no wrote, it's written, were written. In this case, you can see the verb be. And in this case, no, in number one, it's not possible. Ah, look at this. Let's see. Number one. In which sentence, so number one or number two, is the main focus on the action. On the action, not on the person. On the action. Let's continue with letter B. In which sentence is the main focus on who performed the action? So in this second one, we're talking about the person that performed the action. And here we have number 1 and number 2. Let's see if that's right. John Green is the person that wrote the fault in our stores and paper towns. So this is the person. So in which sentence the main focus on who performed the action? In number 1. And what about number 2? Or sorry, letter B. In which sentence in the main focus on the action? In number 2. What is the action? No, the fault in our stars and paper towns. So those books are the action, something that someone do. In this case, John Green. Okay, another example. I teach English. Or Mr. Lucero teaches English. Teaches because it's Mr. Lucero is me. Okay, so Mr. Lucero is like John Green. No, number 1. John Green, Mr. Lucero. Here is in the past, could be in the present or in the past. There is no problem. Okay, so Mr. Lucero teaches English. So this is number 1. So in this part, no, I perform the action. Let's focus in number 2. So if Mr. Lucero is like John Green, so Mr. Lucero is at the end by Mr. Lucero. Perfect. Now, what is the object? English. Very good. English. And remember that the sentence was in the present or the past? In the present. Perfect. Was where? No. Is. English is taught by Mr. Lucero. What's the difference? The verb. Be careful with the verb because you use verb in the past participle. Okay? English was taught by Mr. Lucero. Okay, this is the beginning. Let's see. No? There is one more. Which is the verb tense in both sentences? The verb tense. Simple past. And in this case, where is in the simple past? Okay, be careful. No, it is simple past plus the past participle. So there is no problem. Let's continue. Choose the correct words to complete the rules. Passive or active? Active or passive? We use the passive or we use the active to emphasize the subject of the sentence. Let's remember here. John Green, number 1, the person who performed the action. Iniesta scored the winning goal. Iniesta is a soccer player, an English soccer player, or Spanish, I don't remember. Okay, Iniesta scored the winning goal. If Iniesta is the person that performed the action, is going to be active. Teacher or Mr. Lucero teaches English. Mr. Lucero is at the beginning. Active voice. We use by in passive or active. Let's see. Here, the following our stars and paper towns were written by John Green. If this is active voice, of course, this is the opposite. This is going to be passive voice. No, we use by in passive sentences to show who is doing the action. No, who is doing the action, who's performing the action. In this case, the person that performs the action or is doing the action is Iniesta. So Iniesta goes at the end. Okay, at the end, the winning goal, no, I start here, no, the winning goal scores in the past, yeah, if scores in the past, the winning goal was scored by Iniesta. As easy as that. Another example, okay. Let me think about it. Yeah, this is an example that I always do. Christopher Columbus. Well, I'm going out from soccer or sports, but this is like a passive voice. Christopher Columbus discovered America. Mhm. Christopher Columbus. Christopher is a person, is a subject, active voice. Christopher Columbus discovered America. In this case, Christopher Columbus is like John Green or Mr. Lucero. Aha, active voice, perfect. We need to transform into the passive voice. Christopher Columbus discovered, no, in the past, discovered America. America, no, our continent, America was, perfect, America was discovered by Christopher Columbus. And that's it. Let's see if you understand the idea. Look at the sentences in the chart below. Which verbs are past participle? Past participle. We have, for example, no simple present. Now, as I told you at the beginning, could be in the present or could be in the past. There is no problem. What is the difference? The verb be in the present or the verb be in the past. Okay, simple present. The Olympics are held every 4 years. The World Cup is held every 5 years. Simple past. The match was played at Wimbledon. The match wasn't played at Wembley Stadium. What are the verbs in the past participle? Exactly, held and played. Could be regular, sorry, could be regular like played or irregular like hold. In this case, held. And all those sentences are similar to John Green or Mr. Lucero or Christopher Columbus or any other sentence. Okay? Now let's see. We can transform this, no? The Olympic Games, the World Cup, the I don't know, the America Cup, the Europe League, I don't know, the volleyball game, the golf game, the I don't know, any sport, the ping pong game, the tennis game, I don't know. It depends on you. The cycling competition, no, but you need to focus in the present or in the past. Are, is or aren't, isn't, was, wasn't, or weren't, were, weren't. It depends on what you are thinking about. Okay? Now let's see. Complete the sentences using the correct form of the verb in parentheses. Use a simple present passive. So, if they say simple present passive, it's going to be like this. Simple present passive. For example, the FA Cup final, here you can see here is singular, no? The FA Cup final is held. Held. Past participle, okay? At Wembley. Modern soccer balls, no? Balls, this is plural. Remember letter S? are made of plastic. Water polo is singular, is played in a swimming pool. The world record isn't held by an American. Hey, mister, why do you say isn't? Because here says not, and it means a negative, okay? Isn't. Could be affirmative or negative. Now let's see another activity here. Here says, complete the sentences using the correct form of the verb in parentheses. Use a simple past passive. So if I say simple past passive, we're talking about the second example, no? The second part. Simple past passive. In this case, we use was, wasn't, were, weren't. Let's see. The first FIFA Women's World Cup finals, the first, only one, was held in China in 1991. Surprisingly, the tournament, negative, could be wasn't or weren't. No, it doesn't say tournaments, just tournament. Wasn't won by any of the country famous for soccer skills like Brazil or Germany. The final was played, only one final, not two finals, only one. The final was played in Guangzhou between the United States and Norway. Norway, and between parentheses beat, was beaten 1-2 by the American side. Both American goals were scored. Goals, this is plural, were scored by Michelle Akers. Akers was also given. Teacher, plural. No, in this case, not plural. Because this is the last name of the girl. It's like, for me, no, my last name is Lucero. Or could be Vicente, or could be Espinoza, or could be Sanchez. It doesn't mean that it's plural. Okay, be careful. Akers was also given the gold boot for scoring the most goals in the competition. That is the documentary Heroes, the story of the FIFA Women's World Cup, which tells the story of this and other cups, was released in 1915. Okay, this is our activity about passive voice. Could be passive, simple present passive, or simple past passive. The idea is to stop talking as you usually do and try to use the passive voice. So, in this class, we talk about the passive voice in the present, in the past. No, we can see the verb to be. We can see verb in the past participle, and the idea is to study. If you practice, you are going to be. No, you're not going to be. You will be the best. But if you don't, it is going to be the most difficult subject in your life. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to work for you. See you in classes. Bye bye.